points in this event. The release, which we've grown accustomed to revering, loving, and admiring. Complete to Wycheck, 9 yards. The AFC coach from the Jets, the Natalie-clad Bill Belichick, with Parcells not here.
So you run a Dino, and if you get bumped, you're going to fade it. Yeah, sort of. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Steve Young and the Packers' Antonio Freeman will try to defeat Mo Lewis to the Jets. There's Mo and Ty. I fought the law, and the law won to the Patriots. Young going deep. Oh, he went for 6, but incomplete.
Yeah.
Freeman wants what? A flag in this? Oh, no. Not after this year, Antonio. Take a look. Law, who had as good a year as a defensive back can have for the Patriots, if he bumped him, it was just mellow.
Build some points up, and then we'll go for a slant to start with, and then we'll go for the touchdown after that.
Okay.
Slant round?
Yeah.
All right.
So Elway will work with Eric Moulds, who set a Bills record for receiving, breaking the old mark of Andre Reed. That's Jesse Tuggle to rush Ray Buchanan from Louisville to play defense against Moulds. Well, like Elway said, he's going for points. That's 11-yard pickup, so 20 points in this event for the AFC. The NFC has to work, and there's their coach, Denny Green of the Vikings. Dan Pounce, Leslie Visser with us here in Honolulu. Leslie with Eric Moulds.
Well, you made that look pretty easy. What was the strategy?
Well, you got a great quarterback like John Elway throwing your ball, so it makes my job a lot easy. So I'm just happy to be out here with all these guys, and I'm just enjoying it.
Maybe it's just the continuing domination of the AFC.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, Terrell's been on me all day telling me, hey, it's your time to shine, so let's make some plays.
We had a great year. Thanks.
Thank you.
On the red zone competition, the AFC leads 20-0, so the NFC needs some yards and a score. Steve Young to Wesley Walls of the Panthers. Darrell Russell and Sean Springs. Oh, what a play by Springs of the Seahawks. And the fans sure appreciate it. He had Walls covered like the proverbial blanket. Take a look. Oh, that's nothing but strong corner right there. So, the AFC leads this event 20-0. We've got more of the red zone when we return to Honolulu, but for now, let's kick it to New York and John Saunders.
Boomer, thanks a lot. This is our Wide World of Sports mobile update. Let's get you up to date on college basketball. Very important matchup in the Big East between Rutgers and Providence. We'll get to that highlight in just a moment. But first, Michigan is blowing out Minnesota. 55-39 the lead. Minnesota ranked number 20 and 5-4. They dropped to 5-5 in the conference. Now that Big East game I was talking about, Rutgers at Providence. Kevin Bannon says, if we get a win, we got a shot to go to the tournament. Jeff Billett to Jeff Greer. Greer had 21 points, and Rutgers wins it 86-75. Now 7-5 in the conference. Jeff Billett had 18 points and 6 assists, so Rutgers could be headed to the tournament. Next on ABC, it's Payne Weber College basketball regional action. Some of you will see number 22 Kansas, a team that's won 14 straight games in February. They'll take on Colorado. Others will see Ademola Okalaja in North Carolina and Florida State. And then there's Oregon State against UCLA. Check local listings for the game that's available in your area. After basketball on ABC, it's the AFC-NFC Pro Bowl from Honolulu, Hawaii. Don't miss the NFL's best players, including Minnesota receiver and rookie Randy Moss, Keyshawn Johnson of the Jets, and Green Bay defensive end Reggie White and John Elway. They might be playing in their final games. It's all coming up next on ABC Sports in the Pro Bowl. As we continue with the Miller Lite Battle of the Gridiron, Jamal Anderson, Terrell Davis, Eddie George, some pretty good running backs in the red zone competition.
This Wide World of Sports update brought to you by Mobile Speed Pass, the fastest way to get gas. It's free and it's only at Mobile.
Super Bowl and by Sprint. For all the ways you communicate, Sprint keeps you connected to your world. And by Hershey's, proud sponsor of the NFL and the Hershey's $1 Million Kick.
Okay. So we need 7 yards. So we only need 7 yards because most they get one more shot. Most they can get is 25.
And we have 20?
Yeah.
You want to run a 3 or a slant?
Yeah. Let's run a quick out. 5-yard quick out.
If you
And,
Run it or leave.
if he's bumped, leave it on. I'll go ahead and throw it.
Okay.
All right? Because he'll be waiting for it to fade it if he's bumped. So we'll go ahead and throw it.
Down with 25, so they very well could go something real short.
Okay.
Just got to play a tight bump. They might not as much go to the end zone as much as try to get a 10-point completion.
All right.
So you got to cover them like a blanket. You got to just take a blanket, throw it over.
How about a wet blanket?
The running backs get ready, but all the strategy working. Eddie Green and Ray Buchanan talking defense. John Elway talking offense. Michael Strahan will rush Elway, who's trying to complete the pass to Eric Moles. Got it. And it looks like 5 yards, which give the AFC 25 points, which means with a touchdown, the NFC can still tie. 15 yards plus a 10-point TD bonus.
Give yourself some room, Wes.
Steve Young and Wesley Walls trying to beat Mo Lewis and Ty Law. Forget it. Forget it. The NFC's blank. So the AFC, hey, it's like the Super Bowl continuing. Dominance, at least in the first event, as Young could not find Wesley Walls.
Did you just see that? Was that pass interference?
Pass interference all the way.
Pull a flag, man. He ain't pull a flag. He should have pulled a flag like that.
That flag should have came from back by his ankles.
Look, he's all tired. Look what's going on. He's wet. He's tired.
Look at
throw the flag.
Where was the
I
flag?
just want to know, are you going to guarantee victory?
You know what? I'm going to guarantee a victory. I'm going to guarantee that the AFC or the NFC is going to win this game.
We need more than that.
That's all I can give you. But, you know, sometimes you learn your lesson. I'm in shame. I'm in shame right now.
You didn't go for a bomb or anything. I mean, it's all this little dink and dunk stuff.
I know, but we got ahead early. So in the last one, the most they could get us 25 yards, and we had 20. So we were just trying to get 6. We only ended up with 5, but it worked out.
AFC continues to dominate. Thank you.
We're dominating.
All right, Dan and Leslie, thank you. Well, unfortunately for the NFC and Steve Young, the goose egg. We have 2 kicks coming up, one for accuracy, one for distance. We add the yards together, we get the winner of either Matt Turk or Craig Hendrick. Turk, for the NFC's Washington Redskins, will go first. This is the accuracy portion, where it lands. Oh, did he hit the tape? Oh, my goodness. It can't be more accurate than that. It's like William Tell shooting at the arrow in the middle of the bullseye. Matt Turk of the Redskins, 56 yards, right on the money. So Craig Hendrick will try and not only outkick him, but if he's not accurate, we subtract the yards off the center tape from his distance. Hendrick with the Tennessee Oilers. Much farther than Turks, but we'll have to see how far off the line he was. It looks like a 74-yard boot, but we'll subtract or penalize for lack of accuracy, if you will, and that looks about 10 yards. So even though he was way off the middle, Gary and Carol Anderson looking on, their turn will come. But even though Hendrick was off the middle, he leads 64-56. So here's Matt Turk, and all the bounce counts in this for distance. Oh, look at the roll. Wow. 88 yards for Matt Turk of the Skins. So Hendrick says, wait a minute, I need 81 to win. And by the way, this is the last weekend that you will see the Tennessee Oilers. On Monday, they're the Tennessee Titans. We will still call them the Tennessee Tuxedos. Hendrick. Look at like a golfer saying, roll, roll, roll to the green. Oh, in the end zone. 92 yards for Craig Hendrick, who broke the bank with his punting contract and lived up to every penny of it under a lot of pressure. So Hendrick wins the punting competition and the 3 points with this event to go along with the 7 that the AFC had already won. 2 events, AFC 10, NFC nothing. We've kind of seen this before. TD, MVP.
CB, ABC.
How are you?
All right, how you doing?
Aren't you tired yet? Let's see, you touched the ball, what, 450, 460 times? Aren't you tired yet?
I'm not tired. It's been a long season, but I think I can go the extra distance.
This was a different feeling this year, being the defending champ as opposed to the hunter, if you will, you know, and you guys handled it with a maturity, both mentally approaching to the game and everything that you kind of knew that you were on a good keel all week, didn't you?
Well, we just trying to handle the same way we did last year and not really listen to the media as far as, you know, putting the favor in us. So we just took it as a business trip, went down there, did the same things that we do on a normal game. In the game weekend, things worked out.
Hey, you know what? If anyone has earned some rest after this season, you're looking at him right here. TDZ. Hey, there's Bill Simmons. He has a chance for the Hershey's $1 million kick. Does he look nervous? Not to me. That's coming up later. Campbell, to the modern times, the combination of power and speed of a great running back is one of the most lethal in all of sports. We now move to the running back competition. 2 backs per conference, 2 relay races through an obstacle course, 3 points for each race. The first back will start going through a blaster. We've got dummies, we've got tackling sleds, and we got 4 of the best backs you can gather in one spot. Robert Smith will start for the NFC, and then Jamal Anderson will finish up. Eddie George from Tennessee will start, and 2,000-yard man Terrell Davis will finish up the second back going a la slalom. Robert Smith, Eddie George to start it off. When they cross the line, Jamal and Terrell will get going. Numbers 2 and 1 backs rushing this past season, respectively, in the NFL. There's the blaster, the sled. Terrell starts behind Jamal Anderson. Can he catch up? It's going to be tough. Oh, look at TD explode. The AFC come from behind to win the first race. Look at Terrell Davis. He's about 2 steps behind, and he catches Jamal Anderson. He's still behind. He takes us like Jean-Claude Keeley doing slalom. He's closer to the pylon than Jamal, and then the burst at the end. There's how he got his 2,000 yards. And Jamal at this point figures he's doing pretty well. Hit a tight cut there. Then all of a sudden, out of the left side of his eye, wait a minute, where did he come from?
I can do what I can do.
So 3 points for the AFC. Eddie George and Terrell Davis have won the first race as Emmitt Smith, one of the great running backs, looks on and admires what TD has just done. And what he's done is give the AFC a 13-0 lead with the second relay race to come. TD catches his breath. He's going to start this time, and Eddie George will go second. Well, the NFC says, hey, we like what we were doing even though we lost, so Smith to Anderson, same order.
Killing me.
There's the look from inside the blaster. That's our special blaster cam here at ABC. We spare no expense for the Miller Lite Pro Bowl Battle of the Gridiron. Eddie George. Well, that's Robert Smith with the spin on the sled. But Jamal's got to catch Eddie George. And he's not going to do it. Looked like a mishap at the end with Smith and Jamal Anderson. But TD and Eddie George have won it again. And the AFC is on a serious roll. Well, watch Robert Smith. Oh, look at the spin off the sled. He was styling here until... Oh, that's what happened. And Jamal just could not catch up to Eddie George, who, like a great back, saw daylight and ran to it. Dan Fouts is down with the Buckeyes. One a winner, one a loser in this running back event.
A couple of Ohio State Buckeyes. Now, did you ever have to do anything this hard in Columbus?
Yeah, yes we did. Every offseason we work out together. I know how he is. Always going through the gauntlet. Exactly. No pads. It's punishment, but that's what backs are about.
What about him celebrating before he even got in the end zone?
That's okay. He was allowed that. He's allowed that. Ohio State guys can do that every now and then.
Well, this is what this event has come to. Denny Green is calling for instant replay.
I think this was as good example of instant replay that we could have.
Why is that?
Well, it looked like, even though there are 4 great backs and they did a great job, it looked like the AFC guy left a little early.
Denny, you're down 16-0. You had your own guy, Robert Smith, in there.
Well, Robert had to do the same event 2 times. All 4 of them are great players. I mean, when you're talking about Eddie George and Terrell Davis, Robert did a good job, and so did Jamal Anderson. So it's a lot of fun, great competition, and Right now, the NFC's down, but we got Nate Newton up, and Nate says he's going to carry his own water.
Oh, I'm sure Nate appreciates it's all on him. Thanks, Denny.
You bet.
Carrying his own water. Well, you want to stay tuned to watch Nate Newton, but right now, Nate needs to carry a lot of water. NFC down 16-0 here on the west shore of Oahu. But the big guys, Darrell Russell, Jonathan Ogden, Nate Newton and company. Time to push the sleds. We'll be back. The Battle of the Gridiron in a moment. From Hawaii, I'm Chris Berman, along with Leslie Visser and Dan Fouts, as we roll on. Miller Lite Pro Bowl Battle of the Gridiron. And when we're done, next on ABC Sports, it's Payne Weber College basketball. Great regional action. Some of you will see Florida State take on number 9 North Carolina in the ACC. Number 22 Kansas meets the Golden Buffs of Colorado in the Big 12. Or Oregon State against number 13 UCLA. Check your local listings for games in your area. Our next game, they say football is a game won in the trenches. Strength, endurance, perseverance spells the difference between victory and defeat. The game's behemoths slug it out for 60 minutes. And here at the Pro Bowl Battle of the Gridiron, they slug it out with a two-man team, 2 races, a 25-yard sled push, 3 points per race, and the NFC needs to get on the board. Nate Newton, Michael Strahan for the NFC, Jonathan Ogden on the left, Darrell Russell of the AFC squad. Nate's got the experience, but look at the size of the AFC. Pretty close. AFC ahead. Dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh. Jonathan Ogden and Darrell Russell have won it. Look at Darrell Highstep, and Michael Strahan may be out for the count. The NFC is absolutely stunned, aren't they, Leslie?
Got another run.
Nate, what happened to your guys?
I slipped. We pushed this with equilibrium. Our equilibrium kind of slipped off a little bit. We're going to be back next week.
I think Jonathan Ogden was laughing at you.
We got another run. Let's go.
Okay then, Darrell. We got another one. Now let's see if the equilibrium is a little better for the NFC this time. Well, here's Michael's equilibrium. It's hard to keep your equilibrium when you lose your hat, I got to tell you. So the NFC now down 19-0, needs to make something happen. Strahan, Newton, brace for another onslaught. They switch sleds. Maybe the NFC weighed down that other AFC sled. We'll see. 25 yards. NFC, they got an equilibrium problem. They didn't even make it 25 yards. The Newton family absolutely stunned.
I couldn't even see it. My head was on the other side, and I was just driving, trying to get to the finish line. That's all I saw.
Did it compensate at all for the height difference?
Yeah, that was a problem. The fact was, it was really short, but we kind of just had to pick it up and run with it, literally.
You've crushed him. I saw you were posing before the event.
They cheated, man. They cheated. They have done this before. He was here last year. Nothing will hold up in court. It's only allegations. That's it. You have no hard evidence on it. America's most wanted.
There you are.
Leave Nate alone. They better leave Nate alone. No hard evidence. You have none.
You said they cheated.
They did. You didn't see Jonathan? Let's go to the tape. Go to the tape.
Well, let's go to the tape. Look at Darrell Russell and Jonathan Ogden, young bucks for the AFC. Raiders, Ravens. They make mincemeat of this event. Dan Fouts with AFC coach Bill Belichick.
Now you got a huge lead. What do you do from getting complacent and overconfident?
We're trying to get further ahead, Dan. We're going to try to get further ahead. We're not sitting on anything. We're going to go for the kill.
Hey, you know, a shutout would be good for your reputation. You know, a defensive guy.
And my record, too. Help my record.
Well, if Bill wins it, he'd be 1-0 as Jets head coach, wouldn't he? 22-0. The AFC over the NFC. We shall return. of Oahu, the Iolani Resort and Spa in Kapolei. We face west toward the Far East. Get your geography straight? Now the competition between men who need to keep their geography straight. A 60-minute duel often comes down to the educated toe, or nowadays the educated instep of the field goal kicker. Games can be won or lost on just one swing of the foot. And today we have two of the record setters this year dealing with strong trade wins. But no problem for Gary Anderson. He was perfect on all 94 regular season kicks, 35 of them field goals. University of Hawaii's own Jason Elam of the 63-yarder this year for the Broncos. These are 50-yard attempts. Gary Anderson's been perfect so far. Drills right down the pipe of 50-yarder. Jason Elam needs to make his 50-yarder. As the wives look on, Jason needs to make it or he'll bow out. He knew it. Pushed it right. Hey, the NFC is on the board. Gary Anderson bests Jason Elam, and now it's a 22-3 lead for the AFC. Fittingly, you get 3 when you win the field goal competition. We go from one field goal to one worth a little bit more. The Hershey's $1 million kick. Bill Simmons of Fort Wayne, Indiana, has a chance to get rich.
He says he's practiced only 8 or 10 hours in total, but Bill Simmons of Fort Wayne, Indiana, thinks he still has a good shot at the Hershey's $1 million kick. Bill, what have you done to prepare?
I've never, ever kicked a football. I just kind of like trained myself, but I had Jason Elam help me yesterday, which I really did appreciate that effort on his part. The fact is, after he told me, he gave me a few pointers yesterday, I kicked a couple of real nice. I nailed a couple of them.
Nailed a couple.
Yeah.
Well, let's see you do one more. Have at it. Good luck, Bill.
Thank you.
We should point out this is no chip shot, a 40-yard field goal. I mean, NFL kickers can struggle with this, but he's got the wind somewhat at his back. Bill Simmons, 40 yards, one booth, $1 million. It's straight. Oh, just short. Out of Elam's hold, here's his wife, Pat, looking on. Look at it again. Hey, accuracy, no problem. Distance, tough. Leslie Visser, after the gold rush.
Well, a great effort. You had that crosswind. What happened?
I think we had a swirling wind right there. It just came right down on the ball.
Well, it still was a great effort, and you won't go home empty-handed. To present a check is Bob Fisher of the Hershey's Food Corporation. Bob?
Bill, first of all, I'd like to thank you for participating in our $1 million kick. And also, I would like to present you with a check for $10,000 that I'm sure you and Pat have some real interest in utilizing while you're here in Hawaii. Congratulations.
So for the good folks in Hershey, Pennsylvania, the $1 million is safe. And for the good folks from Fort Wayne, Indiana, I think $10,000 will be well spent. Since we were kids, we played football for fun, drawing up plays in the dirt or on the street. 4-on-4 flag football. We did it then, and the NFLers will do it now. We come to the air it out portion of the Battle of the Gridiron. 4-on-4 flag football. Each team starts on the 40 with 4 downs to score a touchdown. 7 points per score, which means the NFC can come back, even though they're down 23-3.
Okay? If we get the 2 guys together over here, if we're running double inside, it'll be an I call like Iowa or Indiana. The inside guy runs a post, the outside guy runs a 10, and the center runs behind him.
Steve Young against John Elway. Young to Wesley Walls, incomplete. We're going to have a mix and match here with Eric Mold, receiver Bills, on the cover.
Let's start with a completion here. Let's get him on a 6 route or hook or something. The end.
Break back where? In the middle? Antonio. Hey. Okay, good.
Well, let me get this straight. Dennis Green getting conservative on us now. Dink and dunk. Hey, there's a short completion to Antonio Freeman. Young to Freeman of the pack. Sean Springs on the coverage. So the NFC on the move. First of two halves. By the way, there is pass rushing here, but the defenders must start 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage, giving Young and later on Elway a chance to make a move. Another completion to Freeman underneath. Down about the 12-yard line.
Now fourth down, Steve, you've got a minute 11 to score.
Got to get in the end zone.
They need points. They need touchdowns.
Find a way in the end
Young
zone.
wants to talk to everybody. Freeman. But Jamal Anderson snapping the ball. This is a great sight here. Looking for Wesley Walls. Incomplete. Ty Law, as he's been all year, tremendous. They fought the law, and the law won. He led the NFL with 9 interceptions this year for the Pats. He's with Leslie.
Great play right there.
Thank you. Hey, this is a tough match. We gotta get a shutout. We missed the shutout by a field goal, but we about to take it all the way. We win this series, we win the game.
Speaking of winning games late, how about John Elway in a 2-minute drill? Elway to Eddie George underneath. Jesse Tuggle finally tugs at the flag, so AFC moving.
40 seconds, second down.
Again, it's kind of a mix and match. Some defenders playing offense, some receivers playing defense. They're great athletes. They all can move. They all can read the quarterback.
You
get one and a half.
Run a hook.
30.
You just same thing.
Couple of hooks coming up here. Strahan with the rush. Going for it all, but incomplete to Sean Springs.
Crossing route. Yeah, you clear it out and run a dig route, or you run a clear route. He's going to run a dig behind, underneath you, okay? Now you come down. Snap to me.
Natural at all sports growing up, but one of his idols might surprise you. Didn't you tell me once I think you admired Franz Klammer?
It's a downhill. Have you ever watched the downhill in the Olympics? I don't think people realize how fast they're really going. I've tried to do some downhill, and I'm scared to death. You know, when I play football, I get hit around, people are like, wow, how do you do that? No, that is nothing. There's two things that I think that I say to myself, how do they do that? One of them is the downhill. The other one is bull riding.
Steps up in the pocket, takes off.
There it is, Franz Klammer, wearing number 15. The great
Roll up the middle. He might go.
He knows what he has to do. He's the last man in the first seating group of 15.
Down to the 10, down to the 5.
Trouble by Klammer right on the top.
Cuts to the right, pushes off.
Look again, Fred. He's right on the edge. Look at him go for it. He has got to let it go. The Austrian fans at the bottom of the hill are going crazy.
What a score by Steve Young.
One man in my entire life.
From the frozen tundra to the sands of Waikiki, we're always spanning the globe here at ABC. The Miller Lite Pro Bowl Battle of the Gridiron, 29-3 AFC. We'll be back.
How a secret agent eats a Reese's Peanut Butter Cup.
1, 2, 3.
Bill Belichick and his AFC squad certainly have it together. The NFC needs a big second half. They start with the ball, down 29-3. But remember, they can score as much as they want. So they could actually overtake the AFC, and we begin. They're going to give him the catch. Young to Antonio Freeman. Both play the similar West Coast offense style. Mike Holmgren, at least Freeman with the pack, before Mike moved on to Seattle. Mike Holmgren and Steve Young go all the way back to college days at BYU, but that one sails high and wide, if you will. So third down now for the NFC. Young needs to get something going.
Hey, Tony.
Ty Law's been the man of the hour in this game. Eddie George, Young sidesteps him. Plenty of time. Right flat to Freeman. Makes a couple of moves, spins on Law. Sean Springs grabs the flag, but the NFC now on the move. It'll set up fourth down. Look at it again. Freeman starting later today for the NFC at wide receiver, as will Young at quarterback in the Pro Bowl. A couple of nifty moves right there that certainly Brett Favre has grown accustomed to.
Here we go.
NFC smelling pay dirt. Young avoids Eddie George. Sidearmed. Whoa! Jamal Anderson holds on for a touchdown. A Okay, here's the Dirty Bird. But I tell you what, it was almost a messy catch. Look at Jamal. Nothing up my sleeve. He's with Leslie.
Well, it's about time we saw that Dirty Bird.
I know. We've been trying to get over, man. It's so tough, working with Steve. Trying to get on that Niner communication, and got in the middle. I'm just trying to catch the ball. I'm like, oh, goodness.
Well, how come you don't have a special Battle of the Gridiron, Dirty Bird?
I don't know. I didn't think of one. I just thought we beat the AFC, and I wouldn't have to do one. The old one would suffice.
Are you tired of losing to the AFC?
Believe me. Believe me.
We do believe you. Thanks, Jamal.
Thanks.
29-10 now, and at halftime of this game, Faith Evans was entertaining the crowd and also entertaining Ray Buchanan. He's certainly into the Aloha spirit, the new Dirty Bird. Good music at halftime, and the Pro Bowl coming up later on ABC. In Sync will perform at Aloha Stadium on the frozen plastic of Aloha Stadium. So Ray Buchanan with the moves. And now John Elway will try and get the touchdown back. Oh, he's got the moves again. Ray Buchanan with the pick. And the NFC's in business. Ray would have preferred that happened last week, but hey, never too late for Dennis Green, the NFC. They're in business. Look at John. Most interceptions bother him a little more than this, I got to be honest with you.
We had a little traffic over there.
So the NFC gets the ball down 29-10. If Young can make something happen quickly, they can get back in it at least. Complete to Wesley Walls of the Panthers. Young and Walls were teammates a couple of years back with the Niners, so they're no strangers. The NFC on the move. Just got to think about clock here a little bit. But most important, 7 points for the touchdown. Frank Wycheck rushing. Young avoids him. Dumps to Jamal Anderson at the 10. Oh, the spin at the 5. Whoa. Touchdown. Young to Jamal Anderson for the second time in this half. And the NFC has cut it to 29-17. Boy, everything is interesting with Jamal, isn't it? Remember the almost non-catch for the first touchdown? Look at this. Rumbling, bumbling, stumbling, fumbling. The ground can't cause a fumble. It's a touchdown. It's Hawaii. 29-17. NFC making it interesting. We got a game here, John Saunders. How's it going, eh?
All right, Boomer, thanks a lot. From Hawaii to the Great White North. Also later today, right, it's the NFC-AFC Pro Bowl game. That's at 6 o'clock Eastern time. Right now, let's turn our...
Run a post from the left side. Make it flat so Eddie can get to that corner. You run like a pivot. So if I got time, I'll get it to you.
John Elway and the AFC trying to ice it. The NFC is pulled within 29-17. Avoids Michael Strahan of the Giants. Elway, the bullet. Touchdown to Ty Law. Their second hookup of this air it out competition. And the AFC airs it out and closes it out. 36-17. The NFC doesn't know what to do. Dan Fouts with one of the largest members of the losing conference.
Can you put this latest setback in perspective for us for the NFC?
Well, you know, we're trying to give them the big head. You know, the game is Sunday. We're trying to give them all they can get. You know, we're trying to get them, you know, feeling real good about it. We gave them the Super Bowl. We gave them this. And now we're going to take them and we're going to Pro Bowl. That's all. It's a big setup, baby.
Ty, do you have a receiver somewhere deep in your background?
I want to be. You know what I mean? I might be fooling myself, but I like to give it a shot.
What did it mean to catch a pass from this guy?
Oh, it seems like I can't never intercept him. So, I mean, catching the pass is I guess it's just as good. But I'm just happy, you know, I get to catch a pass from a legend. He's going down the Hall of Fame, so I can at least say I caught one ball from him.
You think he should come back next year?
Oh, definitely come back. You know, keep the fans around, keep the game going well, keep great competition. I think he deserves to stay.
Tremendous. Well, only 2 more of these, John. You could three-peat the Battle of the Gridiron.
No, you're right. We got 1 in a row. That's a good start. You got to start somewhere.
Is it fun? I mean, what is it? Can you actually study the other players or just appreciate them?
No, you know what? This is fun because we're always competing against each other, so it's nice to get out and in these situations, get to know the guys a little bit and have some fun. So this is great.
Hey, you just may never lose again.
I hope not.
Thanks.
Not to.
Thanks, John. Back to you, Chris.
All right, Leslie, thank you. 36-17, the AFC wins the Miller Lite Pro Bowl Battle of the Gridiron. AFC winning, becoming a habit just in football in general. Of course, it's all whet our appetite for the Pro Bowl coming up at 6 Eastern here on ABC, 1 Kamina time. We'll see you at 5:30 on ESPN for our pre-Pro Bowl NFL Countdown show. For Leslie Visser and Dan Fouts, I'm Chris Berman. Aloha from Hawaii. 36-17, as in the Super Bowl, the AFC did it Elway.
ABC Sports thanks you for watching this NFL Films production on behalf of the National Football League.